So let's dive deeper into the sneakiest choke from side control. So I recently did a YouTube short, and it's also on my TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that, on the orange crush choke. Now, I recently hit this in my Toro Cup match, and there's a couple different ways that you can get into this, which there's a standard way from side control from specifically Keisagatami, and then there's also one from octopus guard that we'll go over. So if Tyler lays in side control here, now traditionally we get to side control, we're in 10-ton, our arms under his arm, arms under his head, and so, but now if I sit Keisa, if I get to this point, like a good scarf hold is really, really difficult to overcome when they're in side control. Note, my floating rib wants to be connected to his floating rib, and that's where my weight goes to make this miserable, okay? It helps him make stupid decisions, which really helps me out with this choke. So I get here, I'm scooping this arm as my leg comes closer. I wanna make sure I have a good base here. Okay, now, the importance of this hand pulling up and this leg being under is my base is really hard to move, and his elbows can't touch the mat, so his escape is less likely. This free hand, once I'm done scooping, I'm in my position, I can use it to kind of run interference. I can either like turn his head, I can post, but it clears the way for this leg to jump over his head, okay? Now, what happens here is he realizes that some bad things can happen and it occludes his vision. So he pushes it out of the way. When that happens, my tricep meets his tricep, okay? Generally a big wave over, and now I clamp this arm. Want to make sure that his elbow and triceps really wedged in my armpit here. And I dive this under his head. I can still sit Keisa here. Notice how I have his arm trapped as well. That's just gold standard. It's amazing. But now I can gable grip my hands. I can really drive home, get this position here. I want my weight to be in the chest. And if it's ever not deep enough, I want his neck to be in the crook of my elbow. I can kind of princess wave my hands out, but now I figure 4 as I crush my weight down for the tap, okay? So the other way you can get here, and this is match specific for Toro 33, when octopus guard happens, they're kind of putting themselves in a position for this to work. So if I'm in side control, and specifically like maybe a floating, like my arm's over here, and he clears this arm underneath and tries to grab my waist. So this, if they do it like this, is not ideal. Where your arm originally wants to be, so I'm gonna give you an octopus guard tip here. It wants to be punched up directly behind my armpit. So it's very hard for me to cross face here. And even if I do get it, it's not a lot of leverage here. So, but if it's down by my waist, see how much further my arm can go. And now I use my forearm to drive him back down to the mat. And now look where we end up. So same thing, except for I didn't have to feint that leg over the head, it's just naturally there. So now I princess wave, get that deeper. I can figure 4 my arms, I can also gable grip, but now I'm really heavy with my chest for the tap. So to me, it looks kind of like a head and arm, except for the arms under kind of my circle of control in my arms. So keep that in mind. It is a sneaky choke, it can be a neck crank, but most of the time, if done correctly, is a choke. So try this out. If you got any questions, leave it in the comments, but like and follow for more.